If my people, which are called by my name, shall humble themselves and pray, and seek my face, and turn from their wicked ways, then I shall hear from heaven, and will forgive their sin, and will heal their land.
Because they're coming on the nation. Everybody frightened, they're running for cover. No respecter of persons, them bandit, them killer. They're raping and looting, they're killing you dead. Nobody escaping, booyaka, bullet in your head. Oh my country, overnight, get so angry, on uptight. I search out the answer, and this is what I discover. Or you push the creator out, you didn't want the name in your mouth. So you take him out of the school curriculum, no knowledge of God for your children. Look around you, all you have is teenage bandits. They might have nothing in it but O's and A's and CXC, but no knowledge of the Almighty. Just because you push the Creator out, you didn't want the name in your mouth. So you take him out of the school curriculum, you're reaping the fruits of your actions. So tell me where you're balling for.
A pleasant good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. And how are we doing this afternoon? It is another class in session. The second one, officially the second one for the year. It is 1 minute past the hour of 6. Today being the 9th day of January 2024. Go ahead right now and share the live. Let them know that Royalty James is here. It is another wonderful, wonderful evening in Grenada, Carriacou, Petit Martinique. Mostly sunny, although we've seen a little inclemency of the weather at the latter part of this afternoon. But however, ladies and gentlemen, Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique, the best place to be right now. To the persons on my YouTube page, I must call out to Tora. I don't see you that often, that early. So you're really making a pass through in truth. Good day to you, my love. To the persons over on my YouTube page, welcome and good afternoon to you. It's Marilyn Ferguson, as per usual. She's here, man.
You didn't want the name in your mouth.
God's blessings to each and every one of you.
For their iniquity, because it's all you who made them and shape their mentality. What you did in secret, you're doing openly. Don't run away from it. It's your own cruelty. A mango can't bear a fig, a donkey can't make a pig. You're so seeds of darkness, now you're reaping wickedness.
To the persons that are joining for the first time for the year, Happy New Year to you guys. You know, I have a little change in a headphone here. It's so loud. Hearing the pitch of my voice today. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
All you have is teenage bandits, little girls who are photogenic, prostituting their body on.
It's another evening for conversation. Politically affiliated, that is. So I'm seeing Gemma Warwood over on YouTube, seeing Olive McQueen, seeing Patsy Frank, Kristen Utley, Baby Daddy, Kathleen Henry. Good day today. Good day, ladies and gentlemen, over on my YouTube page, alright?
You didn't want the name in your mouth, So you take him out of the school curriculum.
Over on my Facebook page,
You have chance.
seen a few persons that went in very early. So Norma Noel, Vanessa Lalji, Norma Roberts, Tora St. John. All you're welcome now. Go ahead right now and share the live. Let them know that yours truly, Royalty James. I am here for another class in session. We're gonna start it. Marilyn Holder, good evening to you. A lot of persons say I don't acknowledge them while they're on the live. Brother Joseph is free to call name. Don't know who name I could call and I can't. Alright, so good afternoon again, ladies and gentlemen. It is another wonderful evening for the Class in Session program. And so I would like to welcome you to the official second broadcast for the entire year thus far. So we're going to start this evening's conversation, right? I want to say good evening again to everybody. Go ahead, share the live, tag somebody. I'm not seeing a few regular faces, but don't worry, they normally come around late. All right, so welcome, ladies and gentlemen, and we want to start this evening's conversation with not so much of good news, but however, I'm just going to read from one of the excerpts from Facebook that speaks to basically what we have seen going or being trended thus far in the very early part of the year. One person whom I had a conversation with all the way in Paradise last night had to basically disclose the similar incident to me. All right. But however, over the weekend, they say 14 more gunshots were just heard around the ghetto or the Carnage in St. George's. The shots went off approximately at 11:15 p.m. This came after two shots were fired just after 10 p.m. The first one was approximately 10:15 p.m. and the others 10:40. All right. Earlier on in the night, a terrified resident called the New Today to report that about 10 bullets went off. Police have confirmed the report about the gunshots being fired near to the Carnage ghetto area. According to the residents, the area now feel like a war zone to people living in the vicinity. All right. Somebody saying that they saw me on Mikey Hutchinson's live today. I was just minding my very own business, and you're the third person who said to me that they saw me, but I was minding my own business. If I knew he was actually on the live, I would have come on the live because I realized there was a few students who were watching. All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So, good afternoon, Dwight Ferguson. Good evening to you. We have really heard a lot of the cases that are surrounding gun shots being heard in many areas throughout the length and breadth of Grenada. And I say throughout the length and breadth of Grenada because other than this excerpt, I can tell you where I had a personal phone call last night where somebody asked me if I could have get in contact with Grenville Police Station. And I had to say, just call 911 and ask them to, put you on to them. They stated that, they were just in the area within their house, the residents, and they would have heard, shots were going off. And basically when they came out of the house, they basically saw what appeared to be smoke, and there were persons in the areas, running, and some persons were seen with cutlass and other things. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, we ought to be extra careful. Remember, some of these persons using this firearm, and you see, and I'm seeing a trend on one of the Facebook profiles, or I'm seeing it on some of the Facebook profiles, that police officers are conducting stop and searching in areas, and you're making it public. Ladies and gentlemen, I know sometimes you might think that you're doing good. You may think to yourself you're assisting an individual, but you might just be aiding someone from maybe causing your friend or family to be a victim of gun violence, right? I am not saying to you that it is something good, and the awareness of police officers on the ground sorry, especially in circumstances where it is spontaneously done, you don't want to make it public that the police officers are checking in perseverance, the officers are checking in library, the officers, you see, sometimes it is important as security officers to do those searches, because you never know what you would find on them. All right, this could just sometimes avoid the next victim being somebody close to you, right? I don't think it is one of the practices that we must condone here in Grenada, as it relates to informing persons where searches are being done. If you know of any searches is happening, you just remain quiet. And we have made it a norm in Grenada. And I said it is a practice that may sooner or later bring more harm than good. Because all for now, we think that we're helping an individual to maybe get his license straight or get his insurance ready to meet the police. But that could just be an individual hiding a firearm or ammunitions, right? That may just be a stray bullet for your daughter or your son you would have sent to the shop, or them coming from school. I want us to see the bigger picture about this, all right? Don't just think that we're helping individuals when we say to them, oh, the police is checking there or the police is checking over there, right? So we ought to be very careful. Somebody saying to me, take care, I make the news this evening. That's okay. That's okay if I make the news. Right, ladies and gentlemen, let's jump into the conversation for today now. I know we're ready. I know we want to hear what it is that we're conversing with today, right? So I want to start by giving you a little insight in it now. So let me hear what it is, right? We know of the recent government or cabinet reshuffle, and we would have obtained a very new ministry. I don't know how many of you all know of we have actually two new ministries that have been given. One, the ministry of taking care of the mentally ill. That's a new ministry. And then we have the other one, the Minister of Defense. You understand? For those of you all who knows those ministries and who are responsible for those ministries, then kudos to you guys, because we now have a minister most responsible for the mental institution in Grenada. You get a whole place for ourselves. And then another one that is responsible for just removing fence. So we give him the Minister of Defense. Ladies and gentlemen, and I want us to always keep our political minds open. Always keep your political mind open. And when I say that, I want you to ponder on what I'm about to say. Right? Now, when it comes to political knowledge or being able to bring someone up to say, well, you know what? Let me select or vet that person in bringing them up to a constituency to say, listen to me, this is your candidate that would be contesting the next general election. There are questions that we must ask ourselves. And the last general election really opened our eyes as to the persons whom we elect or select at times is bewildered as to how they're selected. Because an 18-month-old government comes to the fore and says to his people, we are demitting an individual, or an individual asked to be demitted from office to pursue an educational furtherance in a particular subject or study. Now, it has been alleged or rumored from since Lane Kane that the individual have been a member of the St. George's University. And maybe the only how we may have specific information as to the length of time spent is only if we get it from the SGU administration. Now, you can't say to me, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm speaking in my political knowledge, you can't say to me that you offered to a constituency an individual in whom you know is an undergraduate. You basically gave to the people somebody who you know that was not educationally equipped in order to even run constituency. then you gave him a try within a ministry and within the political scope and governance. And the fact of the matter is that the present administration, and you can't give me no other nice word about he demit office to further education, that is stupidness. The individual, since the time the office was given to him, was a papi show. And we don't run in from no nice talk and no nice word today. We letting them know what it is. We knew, you knew, that the individual was an undergraduate. You knew that the individual was incompetent. You knew the individual lacked educational knowledge, both politically and otherwise. At the end of the day, what goes further to show the level of incompetence of the individual is that the individual had to leave or demit the position given. And let me tell you why it makes nonsense. Because it is factual now, and I can bring it to you, that there is a particular minister of government presently sits in a ministry who's doing his doctorate. He was given a ministerial position, remained in his ministerial position, and is doing his doctorate. And somebody's bringing more light to my conversation. Because here is somebody saying to me, Kate was doing her studies while running. And what were we saying? Why does an individual have to demit his or her office in order to further their studies? You are basically the boss. And you're saying you're giving up the boss position to go and study. Persons can sit at their office. With the technological age that we are in, individuals can sit in their own space and obtain their education. Individuals need not to now leave their jobs. They are police officers, nurses who are furthering studies, and they are not resigning from the particular post. And if you're a minister of government and a parliamentary representative, it gives you more leeway to now further your studies. You need not to demit the position. Because if you're competent enough, and that's the word here, if an individual is competent enough, and I like the example drawn, that Sister Kate Skeeter-Lewis, while as a parliamentary representative and minister of government, didn't demit her office. The present minister that holds the position in which the individual held, isn't demitting office in order to further his studies. So when you say to a Grenadian people that an individual has to demit his or her office in order to further their studies, I wonder what you were looking for in its initial stage when you selected that individual to run in his or her constituency. Because individuals are of the opinion, no, you don't have to be, and that is how it was brought, that is how it is brought. This is how it has brought to the light now. That you need not to have a good record or a good history, or you need not to be educated to be a parliamentary representative or to represent a constituency. I consider this as utter nonsense. Because an individual must be, in some way or the other, educational enough and must have that level of backing. Because individuals are coming to you with a series of issues. And as an individual, you must be educated enough, competent enough, and the most important word, resourceful enough to assist them as a parliamentary representative. You can't say to me that in 18 months, that an individual is saying to you, I am demitting, because the word demit, as the Prime Minister used, means to resign from an office. Which we're hearing allegation that the individual, and what makes it funny, ladies and gentlemen, and let me play it for you because I want you to hear, is this part of the entire, this is the part of it that makes it controversial. Take a listen, ladies and gentlemen.
I will demit office as a minister, and he will remain, obviously, as the Member of Parliament for St. George Northeast. Minister Redded is I also
I don't think that's the
Ron
problem.
Redded, who held the position of Minister for State with responsibility for youth, sports and culture, will demit office as a minister, and he will remain obviously as a member of parliament for St. George Northeast. Minister Redded is.
I don't think that's the that's not the clipping I really wanted. That's the clipping right here.
Culture will demit office as a minister, and he will remain obviously as the member of parliament for St. George.
The advantage, but they are keenly positioned.
I don't think I'm getting what I really want. But you heard part of the conversation. Somebody's asking the question. So I applied for a job to a person that I am more qualified than. Okay, I would get to that. But there is a particular part of the conversation when the Prime Minister spoke as it relates to the brother leaving or demitting office, where he says that if he chooses to come back or the Prime Minister decides, you understand that? That if he chooses to come back or if the Prime Minister decides, so it's not a position whereby he is expected to come back and get. I hope we listen to that part, and I'm sorry that I'm not getting my hands on that piece alone. Right? And I want you to listen, even just a piece of the deliberation from the dear brother when he addressed that issue. Listen to this.
Very much. Well, not in the capacity as a cabinet minister, but certainly a member of parliament. But I want to take this opportunity to thank the Honorable Prime Minister for his gracious offer. And
let's take a peek. You hear the word used there? He wants to thank the Prime Minister for his gracious offer. So let's stick with the contradiction to this. Now, if an individual is to demit office, the resignation from that individual must be what? First and foremost, a decision that he makes. An individual to demit an office is a decision that he or she must make. Now, if something is being offered to you, it brings a whole different light to the conversation. It means that it was not a decision you took on your own. But let's listen more.
And to allowing St. George Northeast to experience what I would consider a very important part of our cabinet and our government. I think it was very important. We learned significant lessons and we build a team. And we are still a team. So I want to reiterate that I still remain the member of parliament for St. George Northeast, fully committed, not just to party, but certainly to country, and will still continue to do my part to ensure that we move Grenada forward. And so to all the cabinet colleagues, I want to wish you all the best, and you know that you have my voice and my support in everything that you do. Thank you.
So, ladies and gentlemen, an individual who spoke as it relates to what he says he demitted office, yet to address that, okay, well, he congratulated his cabinet, his newly elected cabinet members, and so on and so forth. But yet to address the issue that I'm happy that this opportunity has been given, that I would now further my studies. Because that is when the question was posed for those of us who watch the press. We expected that he deliberated on the conversation that he made fact that I am now going to study. I'm going to further my education. I would be now representing the people in my constituency, and so in doing so I would like to ensure that persons understand that in such time that, you know, my education would be important, my expert. You have to listen to me. When people talking, I'll tell all you, when people talking, take from it what they're not saying. Take from it the intonation, how high they go when they say what they say, how low they go. You understand me? Their facial expression, how they feel about what they're saying. And if you look at the dear brother is satisfied. The brother is not satisfied. So you cannot say to me that this young, vibrant individual in whom Grenadians looked on with so many complaints within an 18-month period. And let me give you a rundown of it because we have it. No, let me play this for you. This is where this is what I'm playing there. You might hear the music, but this was from the jubilation with Sister Claudette and Brother Tevin, and it goes on. Let's listen to it.
Miss Joseph, I seen a little bit about you. But Mr. Ron Redhead, where you did? I'm seeing you. I can't hear you. I want to know where. All I'm hearing about is a Willis, a Boca, a this, and I can't hear about Mardi Gras. The only thing I hear about good up is the health center. So tell us what's going on. We want to know what's going on, what's happening, what's going to be happening for us.
Residents, if you are not seeing me, it's because I'm working. My responsibility in the cabinet does not entail consistent field visits. I am not Minister Andy Williams, and I am not also the Honorable Tevin Andrews, who is also the Minister and MP in his constituency. His ministry is also his constituency, essentially. So they have not so much an unfair advantage, but they are keenly positioned to go out in the community regularly.
That the Honorable Ron Redhead, who held the position of Minister for State with responsibility for youth, sports and culture, will demit office as a minister, and he will remain obviously as the Member of Parliament for St. George Northeast.
So after the Prime Minister realizing that you have not been servicing your constituency, and that you, as you said, based on your ministerial role at the time, you would not be able to be seen, you'd realize that this is why the Prime Minister would have given you the position that he gave you, my dear brother. And you see, sometimes when you make so much a noise in some of these areas, and you see, he was one of the individual that was just not keeping quiet. Because during parliament sittings and other occasions, he was the one that always laughing and the one that always in the fore with everybody else. But now, here we go, my dear brother, that you being the laughing stock of everything. You understand me? Then goes to our dear sister. I don't understand the dear sister position within health. For the first time in Grenada, we have two health in the Ministry of Health, around the Ministry of Health, collaborating with the Ministry of Health. Because we have a health minister, and then we have somebody who's responsible for mental health. And if many of us are not understanding, I see this cabinet not as a reshuffle, but there was a cabinet extension. Because you're hearing of positions now that spontaneously come out from nowhere. Because I am still yet to understand the specificity of the role and function of the dear sister. I mean, it's been since last year I've been asking you guys what work she have. Now that she has a ministerial role, then I applaud that. But no, I'm asking, what is the role and function of having the individual within a ministry that is a ministry? So you're responsible for something within a ministry? Basically, that's what you're telling me. Because we have a Minister of Health whom I know should be responsible for all the health issues surrounding his ministry. But no, we have an individual within the health sector for you to just be responsible for mental health. Which to me is a question that should be posed for somebody to say to me, this is why this is given. Because I don't understand your position, my dear sister. Because you have a ministry within a ministry responsible for a ministry institution. Specifically. So I don't know if that is to embarrass you. I don't know if that is to ridicule you, because there is allegations that goes wrong, many things surrounding you. So I don't know if that is the opportunity or the best way to make you look like a papi show. Right? Then we go on to many things that surrounds this reshuffle. And listen to me, I like to be an honest person. And I like to be honest in my deliberations. And I would be very honest in saying this. I believe Brother Jonathan Lacrette will do an okay job within the Ministry of Youth and Sport. I am putting this out there. I am just doing it on the fact that I know the individual has a very vast knowledge in terms of youth involvement and youth interaction, having been a teacher for a very lengthy period of time. I am putting it out there. And I always say to you guys, when you listen to my program, I don't like to be biased. Because as I NNP, I go say that. But I do believe that the dear brother Jonathan Lacrette should, and maybe I say should, be in the position to do a wonderful job within the Ministry of Youth. I extend my hats off to him. And so when you hear me speak, I always say this to you guys. You see, youth, health, and agriculture, to me, is always three of the categories I look at a government in order to sometimes give my verdict on how best I believe they're servicing. Right? I mean, youth has been off the radar with the last minister. All right? Well, somebody saying I may turn my mouth, and I'm not saying no, but I think the knowledge I think that he has, or he would have gained within the years, I am hoping that he brings it into fore in the ministry that has been given. Right? I am not putting my neck on a block saying he's going to do a wonderful job. The expectation and the experiences that I've known him to have had, I am putting this conversation out there. All right? And I say, sometimes you don't need to be, because you're on the other side, you simply castigate for castigating purposes. I don't do that. Right? I believe, is one of the persons that I could say that may have that level of footing to do a good job within the ministry. Right? And as I said, in order for me to sometime look at an administration and see whether or not they're performing, I always say youth development is important, because to tomorrow's future depends on our young people. Health, paramount important. The health of a nation is a wealth of a nation. And agriculture, you have to keep the people of your country fed by whatever means necessary, whenever we can have those things propelling. And once those three ministries are propelling properly, you would sometimes tend to see a healthier nation. Right? I am not saying that it is what gives, I have no research proof, but on me, that is how I normally do this. All right? Ladies and gentlemen, we too, in recent days, have seen some significant increase from government. And those increases that we have been seeing from government, it's really, really significant. And it is concerning rent for small businesses. We're seeing renting moving from $336 to $1,141. We're seeing rent moving from $930 to $1,142.50. Ladies and gentlemen, this is alarming. I don't know if government in recent days did any significant, structuring of some of these places, or they did some renovations that would have caused those prices to jack up to those levels. But I think government really needs to look again into that aspect of that increase, right? We know definitely that there is a mammoth amount, ladies and gentlemen, that have been budgeted for the 50th anniversary, and takes me to that conversation. Now, all we have seen, ladies and gentlemen, most significantly thus far, that within how much? Just about under a month away that celebrates our 50th independence, I think the most significant thing that we have seen thus far is the lighting of the carronage. So that 7.1 million, or I think 7.1 or $10 million, we are yet to see its actual spending. So we don't know if in the next how much days or so we are going to see it. But I believe what I'm seeing most of is that small businesses throughout the length and breadth of Grenada have been doing their little printings and so on. You're seeing many of those things. But from a government's point of view, I don't know many of you all are seeing anything different. But I don't think that government have been doing that visual spending. All right? I don't think that we are actually seeing this. I don't think that this is being coming to its visual. So we're asking the government, the spending that you have, that you show to us that you're doing that actual spending in the budgeted amount that you spoke about. Honestly, we're asking of you, right? Ladies and gentlemen, we again, and tonight I don't want to rush. I want to take my time so that you all could be able to listen to a few of the things that I am actually conversing about. Ladies and gentlemen, the Molineux Road project. The Molineux Road project. We heard this administration mentioning to us that by January, we would have seen that road up and running. But I want to play a very recent excerpt when it comes to the Molineux Road project. And I hope many of us had the opportunity to maybe listen to it. I want to ensure that I get it. I don't know, somehow or the other, I'm not getting my hands on my clipping today at all. Don't worry, they don't sabotage. I don't think they sabotage my page. So I think I'm safe. Ladies and gentlemen. I want to ensure that I get that clipping so that I would have been able to play it for you guys. But I am not somehow or the other getting my hands on this. I want to also address the Carriacou and Petit Martinique issue. There is a lot of issues and conversation coming out from Carriacou, right? So this is an excerpt from MTV that speaks to the Molineux Road project. Take a listen.
Molineux Land Slippage Project. According to site engineer Sunil Pal, who expects the road to be open to regular traffic by November 2024. MTV visited the site on Thursday.
Hopefully next Christmas, everybody will be driving through. Once the weather and everything keep supporting us. We are really positive, and we had a excellent progress. If you can see on site from last 4 weeks, we had excellent progress. We are satisfied where we are right now, but it's all depend on our weather. Sometimes weather just disappoint us, but we are sure sometime in October, November, we should have the road.
According to them there, work was on a bit of a go slow due to the Christmas and New Year holidays. However, 24-hour work has resumed. Due to the land slippage in the Molyneux-St. George area, a part of the Western Main Road was closed to traffic in December 2019, and in 2022, 5 companies submitted tenders for the commencement of repair work.
Basically, box type bridge. We have 17 boxes in total section, and we are doing the backfill right now for the foundation.
You see
We
this?
have
This
to
one?
come up like another 4 feet. Once we come up 4 feet, our bridge will start.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I just simply wanted you to hear the time that the individual said that this road will be completed. It is said that it would be next Christmas. And if my Christmas is correct, that would be December. Remember a particular minister beating his chest and mentioning that by January of 2024, we would have seen the completion of the Molyneux Road project. Ladies and gentlemen, it goes to show you that within this political scope and within the whole political genre, that these persons continue to do what they believe they want to do. Because at the end of the day, when you put everything into perspective, remember this administration came, as we do say in local terminology, hot and sweaty in 2022 after they won the election, and mentioned that this is one of the projects that the past administration dragged their foot on, did absolutely nothing. Right? They stated that they went back to get monies or so on and so forth, even putting the Molyneux Road project in conversations. Just before the general election, I remember Mr. Cox having conversations as it relates to contractors who made their bids and so on and so forth. Right? No new contractors came along when this administration took office. They basically had a outline as it relates to the contractors that was there. If it's subjected to correction, they would have changed the contractors. So one person asking, what took him so long? At the end of the day, brother, this is a road slippage. This is not just a crack in the road. And we knew the level of engineering work that had to take place. How many years we stood by before all the Jardine project took place of the backing of seas. How many political organizations from since 1974 did not undertake it, and the past administration with the leadership of Dr. Mitchell took it on. So when you speak of road slippage and you speak of road reconstruction or construction in Grenada, any name to put to the development of road construction and road networking in Grenada must go to Dr. Kid Mitchell. Because there were many road projects that in Grenada was there from since so long. And the road networking in Grenada changed significantly under the leadership of Dr. Mitchell. So when you come and you want to put just Molyneux Road project on the back of Dr. Kid Mitchell, like I had mentioned many other road projects in Grenada that he didn't take long to do. Because at the end of the day, the damage was done in 2019. However, the past administration was on course, on par, in terms of ensuring that contractors was met and certain works was being looked at and so on and so forth. That is the process of a project, and we all know that. We all know with a contract like this, you don't just take it because of the first person that come. Engineering work has to be done. Negotiations have to be, weigh and balance what is probable, what is not. So from 2019 and by 2022, when the present administration took office, it is a fact that they could have said to you there were things being done within the project. It is not a project that was just left on the back. And we shouldn't even speaking Molyneux Road project. I am tired speaking of having conversations that this present administration are telling me that the past administration did not do, or there was not much work being done. We are going on nearly 18 months. The question is, what have you done? What has been your new initiation? This is the conversation we want to hear from you guys and your supporters. They can boast and brag as it relates or bring disadvantages and tell you all are the projects that NNP did not do. They could tell you all the projects that NNP did not finish or started and did not finish, or monies was given or grant was given and was not done. They could give you all this information. And the one question I have posed to them is, tell me the one that you all have initiated, the one that you all have granted for. That is what I need. This is the information that I want from you guys. But I can't get it. Because you know what the answer is? There isn't any. There isn't any. This administration continues to fail themselves and their supporters. And at the end of the day, what you hear them saying, oh man, we pay pension. And that is all you would hear. We pay pension and we give teachers the dog salary. Biggest project of this administration. Ask any one of the supporters. Ask them what is the greatest achievement that they could speak about going into a second year. Ask any one of them, what is it that why are you still there? What have they done? You know, what significant has they done? And then maybe newly they're the administration to have taken the most or the fastest salary increase in the history of the Caribbean. And maybe that's something we need to research. Where is my researchers? I believe this is the administration that took the fastest salary increase in the history of Caribbean history and political history. After not spending a good 2 weeks in office. So ladies and gentlemen, and I keep saying to you guys, if it's one thing that you need to get ready, like the hurricane season, they tell you put away certain things, check with your electoral office. Make sure that you guys have your registration ID ready. Because the way these people, I've never seen an administration fight so hard to come out of office. I have never seen an administration do so much thing for people to want to vote them out. Because ladies and gentlemen, at the end of the day, what is important when it comes to politics in Grenada is what persons could see physically. Because persons are telling you, oh, the government signed a project to start in 2030. And they want to get rid of paperwork by 2026. That everything is electronic within the government and government ministries. How does that, ladies and gentlemen, in any way aid in our economic drive on a day-to-day basis in Grenada? Look around the streets of St. George's and other towns and other areas. See what is happening. Listen to people's conversation. And you would realize that yes, we're in January. January is a hard month, but we have had this issue since December. Ask any one of them. Many persons cried down the past Christmas after the IMF gave such a good report. Awesome report from the IMF. Another great or one of the best budgets is presented. And when you go around the town of St. George during our past Christmas season, you heard persons crying out. You heard persons asking, where are the persons to buy those items that I am producing for sale? This was the clarion call during our past Christmas season. This administration, ladies and gentlemen, continues to look at the people above us. We heard a nice conversation now of minimum wages. But where are the jobs that are being provided, or where are the persons, be it private entities, that are employing those persons to be able to get that minimum wage. Ladies and gentlemen, keep your political eyes open. As I said, we're not going to jump on the back of castigation. We're not going to castigate the political organization by the mere fact that we support the new National Party. But at the end of the day, when we are not seeing anything that can surpass the performance of our past administration, then we ought to put to scale that you all are failing, that I am still all the way up here and you're down here. And we're not seeing improvements to say, well, you know what? It looked like things looking bright for the year to come. A budget again, no initiative. For those of us who followed the last budget, absolutely no initiative. Absolutely no initiative. You could see that there was never a plan, because initially you never had 10. You had 9. And now you get a 10 and you give a position. So you could see that as things go on in Grenada, spontaneously everything just jumping out from behind the curtains. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to weigh and balance, go ahead. Go to the manifesto. Fear not to read the manifesto. See the things that they had planned. Listen to the budget. Time given, and what I'm saying to you guys, when government mandates themselves, when government give themselves an ultimatum, when government say that they're going to do something, hold it to them that they have to get it done. Hold it to them that, hey, you said this was what is going to be done. And right now we're putting together a nice little package as it relates to the past budget in so many things that was not fulfilled. Even $25 million that is unaccounted for within the Ministry of Health, in which Dr. Mitchell made that clarion call to the Ministry of Health when he said to them $25 million is unaccounted for. But the then Minister of Health stood in the House of Parliament, in the House of Senate, and he said things, started to talk about Diary of Mad Black Woman, basically showing shade of a senior political female minister in Grenada. Someone whose shoes you cannot fit, even if you do like Cinderella's sister or stepsisters. It just can't fit you. It's a shoes you cannot fit. So at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, we need not to fear and argue. Ask them to bring to you the achievements. Ask them to bring to you the new initiative. Ask them to bring those things to you. And at the end of the day, you would realize that if the past administration was messing up, this administration will mess up. Because they have not brought anything better. They have not brought anything better. Weigh and balance it, and that's what I'm giving. That's what I'm giving to you guys, ladies and gentlemen. Go, look at it. Listen to the last budget. And as I said, we're in the process of doing that. Many of the things that was not done, the Stony Goat the Stony Goat Road project, all those projects that they mandated themselves to do, the Ministry of Housing, the houses to be distributed, so on and so forth. All of those things, and how much things they turn around during that past year. And as people say, there might be more to come. There might just be more to come. The way the RGPF is going, maybe you might just be able to leave training school with a rank. Because there are senior officers whose services surpasses some of this person's age. Some persons going in training school 28 years. Some persons have served the RGPF 32 years. And by the time they come out, you hear this person say, hey, that man, passed out 2 months ago, and he's a corporal. You have officers within the RGPF disgruntled, who believe to themselves they're being victimized. So I wouldn't surprise one day you see somebody walk out of training school and they walk out of police training school as Corporal X or Corporal Y. And there are persons who are putting in the work. Putting in the work. And then you hear senior officers reporting, I don't see nobody below me to give a rank. And you're not demoting them. You have a demoralized police force. The security of our country. Gunshots fine, left, right, and center. Imagine the area in which you're saying those shots are being fired. You have the criminal investigation department right there. You have Central Police Station right there. You have Fort George. You understand me? And you're saying to me that those areas you have firearms or shots being heard late evening and so on and so forth. We ought to be careful, ladies and gentlemen. We ought to be careful. Let me just read what somebody just wrote. I don't know them unions go make it with some workplaces because staffs are being downsized technically because of the minimum wage adjustment. I know it's not only NMP supporters this is affecting. And remember, this is one of the biggest disadvantage that I said. Minimum wage, yes. Kudos to minimum wage. Absolutely no problem with minimum wage. But at the end of the day, what makes a private entity keeps an individual? What is it? Government does not hold the majority of employment in a country. It's all private entities. And if an individual believes that, oh, I have 17 persons here and I have to increase their salary, what is going to happen? What is going to happen? Persons with either, as he said, downsize, or what we're going to see is an increase in the product or the services rendered. That's what we're going to see. Because these are the disadvantages as it relates to the increase in minimum wages. And like a small country like Grenada, where the rest of the world is saying to you, hello, there is a possibility that we're going to see inflations. We're going to see increase in this, we're going to see increase in that. And then you say, hey, minimum wage. And government is not having no big initiative in nothing. Basically, most of the things that you hear government has increased is a little 13%. You go ahead and do the calculation as it relates to the percentage increase for some of these entities. It is even not the 13% and the 19% that some of these police officers and public servants signed for. When you look at some of the increases, it is more. Because in some of the cases, the 4% that you hear is that is being spoken about to the increase in public servants. It is a make 80 something and 90 something and 100 something dollars. But you're saying to the public servants, increase the other salaries by 150, 160. Understand this, that government as an entity is increasing salaries by 80 something and 90 something and 100 and something dollars. And you're telling other entities to increase it by 150 and $160. Because at the end of the day, the $500 that we heard, and don't forget people, another thing that we does not listen to, that is when they mention of a budget cycle. A budget cycle is 1 year. So an increase that we're hearing for the doctors and so on and so forth, it is not something that is going to be kept on their salary. Then you could take to the bank holistically that, hey, in the next 2-3 years, that stays on my salary. Because if we're speaking of a budget cycle, an increase in a budget cycle, we're speaking for just a year. So still, even if you're thinking job security or loan security, you still have to sometimes question whether or not I could take this to the bank. Because there's still contract workers out there, as somebody is saying. And the conversation of regularization and contract payment, making persons permanent, it was a campaign strategy. Remember, Dr. Mitchell and the whole of the team spoke about that. You can't just tell people, listen to me, you have me on contract and you're increasing my salary. You feel banks still watching that? As you speak of job security, you feel because you increase my salary that the financial institutions are going to say, yeah, I'm going to give him or her a loan? It is not that. It won't happen so. Because at any given time, based on your contract will be terminated. Because you're still a contract worker. So even if they're seeing an increase in your salary, however, if you're going for a loan that could last the time of your contract, and then you could meet within that realm, then they may say, okay, give you. But if you're still a contract worker, and even if you got a little increase, it doesn't give you a job security. Your job is not secured. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want us to this year, during the political year, and I want to say this openly, fear not to give this administration kudos when they have to get it. But also, fear not to speak on things that are unjust and that is not right. Let nobody hold your tongue to say what is the truth. Get your facts and your information. Put them together. Note them. Don't let anybody come and tell you, but they're not so, and they're not so, and have your facts ready. All right? Have your facts ready. So, ladies and gentlemen, it was another wonderful evening. We actually hit the hour of 7 o'clock. So, just before we run off, I just want to give to you a few of the ads that we have thus far for the year. Sailors Promotion present Bingo Night. That would be on Saturday the 3rd of February. That would be current big yard. $1,500 in cash and prizes would be given away. Dance after at the bingo to the song of DJ Vibration. $20 gets your ticket. Fusion Bar, that's where the dance will be taking place. Event starts at 3. Bingo time is at 6. All right. Brandon Trends Promotion presents to you Ice Green and Gold, the 58th Independent Cruise. Tickets are only $70. The songs that you would be hearing is Soul Vibes Entertainment from Canada, DJ Smiley Graphics, Blackstorm, Carl and Kyle about the Embassy. Boarding time 1 p.m. Sailing at 2 p.m. Tickets outlet Brandon on the bus terminus and Chucky Bar. You can also get that on Go to Fet. All right. Sunset City presents Spice Breadfruit Festival. That would be held on the 17th, Friday the 17th of February from 11. That would be at the Victoria Basketball Court in St. Mark's. All right. So don't forget. I think I might have to change that date. I may be subjected to some corrections. We're on to Higher Links Promotion. Rep your country colors. That would be aboard the Embassy. That would be on the 7th of February, that is. I think there's a mistake. No, tickets go on sale from the 7th of February, sorry. But the event is on the 7th of February. Boarding time 1 p.m., sailing time 2 p.m. All right, early bird tickets would be $70 more after. So don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, to support if you want to go on a little cruise. Those are some of the events that are coming up. All right, and then we have this, ladies and gentlemen.
Are you having problems with pain? Well, we've got the solution. Use Nut Magic Pain Reliever today and feel the pain fade away. Nut Magic Pain Reliever is produced right here in Grenada by Black Hole Enterprise and can be used for the relief of sore muscle, joint pain, cramps, backaches, arthritis, and other related symptoms. It's magic in a bottle. You can find Nut Magic Pain Reliever at major pharmacies and supermarkets on the island. Call or WhatsApp Black Gold Enterprise at 458-1330. Look for Nut Magic Pain Reliever on Facebook and on Instagram, or send us an email at bgegrenada@gmail.com. Get yours today and say goodbye to pain. It's magic in a bottle.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, so that there was one of our ads. I want you to go there and be healed by such a product. It is locally made. All right, all the information is going to be on my Facebook page every time you need that information, or you can contact me on 5365843 and I'll give you more information. It was another wonderful evening, ladies and gentlemen. It brings me to the end of this evening's program. We would see again tomorrow, same time, same place. More conversation surrounding our political and social life here in Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique. Do have a blessed day to each and every one of you. If you're traveling home, be safe. If you're at home tonight, you need to also be safe. So we would see again tomorrow. God's blessings to each and every one of you. God's love and God's blessing. Oh, just before I run off, I don't know how many of you all are happy school past students and might have been supporting or being a part of the greenhouse. However, they're making a clarion call that if you can contact the school to make any form of donations to the house, because the house needs some assistance in organizing the greenhouse uniform. All right, so if you want, you can contact me. I can give you a number that you can call if you're wanting to assist the greenhouse of the Happy Hill Secondary School. You can contact me and I would put you on to one of the teachers responsible for the house. All right, so contact me and let's see how best we can support our students out there at the Happy Hill Secondary School that is part of the greenhouse. Tomorrow I'll get the specific house name. I don't have it like that. So tomorrow I'll get, a better conversation and I would be able to put it out. As I said, you can always call the school, call me, and we would get that done. All right. So thank you so very much for listening. Have yourself a wonderful evening. God's blessings to each and every one of you. We will see you again tomorrow. My name is Royalty James. I am out. Do have yourself a wonderful evening.
If my people, which are called by my name, shall humble themselves and pray, and seek my face, and turn from their wicked ways, then I shall hear from heaven, and will forgive their sin, and will heal their land.
You crying, Gadaya, because they're coming on the nation. Everybody frightened, they're running for cover. No respect of persons, them bandit, them killer. They're raping and looting, they're killing you dead. Nobody escaping. Booyaka, bullet in your head. Oh my country, overnight, get so angry, on uptight. I search out the answer, and this is what I discover. Or you push the creator out. You didn't want the name in your mouth, so you take him out of the school curriculum. No knowledge of God for your children. Look around you, all you have is teenage bandits. They might have nothing in it but O's and A's and CXC, but no knowledge of the Almighty. Just because you push the Creator out, you didn't want the name in your mouth, so you take him out of the school curriculum. You reaping the fruits of your actions. So tell me where you're balling for, where are you crying for? Where you're balling for, where are you crying for? Is you who push the Creator out, yeah. Every generation that comes is nothing more than a reproduction you're seeing is yourself manifesting, nothing else. Check the children's performance, then look deep in your conscience. You go see, or you push the creator out. You didn't want the name in your mouth, so you take him out of the school curriculum. The knowledge of God for your children. Look around you, all you have is teenage bandits. They might have nothing in it but O's and A's and CXC, but no knowledge of the Almighty. Just because you push the creator out, you didn't want the name in your mouth, so you take him out of the school curriculum. You're reaping the fruits of your actions. So tell me where you're balling for, where are you crying for? Where you're balling for, where are you crying for? Is you who push the creator out. You didn't want the name in your mouth. Don't condemn the children for their iniquity, because it's all you who make them and shape their mentality. What you did in secret, you're doing openly. Don't run away from it. It's your own cruelty. A mango can't bear a fig, a donkey can't make a pig. You sow seeds of darkness, now you're reaping wickedness. Just because you push the creator out, you didn't want the name in your mouth, so you take him out of the school curriculum. No knowledge of God for your children. Look around you, all you have is teenage bandits. Little girls who are photogenic, prostituting their body on the heat, the bomb and punch with pornography. Just because you push the creator out, you didn't want the name in your mouth, so you take him out of the school curriculum. You're reaping the fruits of your actions. So tell me where you're balling for, where are you crying for? Where you're balling for, where are you crying for? Is you who push the creator out. You didn't want the name in your mouth, so you take him out of the school curriculum. You're reaping the fruits of your actions. Awo, 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 awo. Awo, 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 awo. You're balling, gadaya, gadaya, gadaya. I see you, gadaya, gadaya, gadaya. Awo, 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 awo. It's coming on the nation. Awo, 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 awo. Gadaya, gadaya, gadaya. You will hold your belly and ball. Gadaya, gadaya, gadaya.